In this video I'm going to show you how to build the boring automation, the kind that saves businesses hours every single day, and the kind that you can actually charge money for. Most companies are still wasting hours every single day building documents that could be done by AI. And this is one of the fastest things that you can automate. I actually built this exact same automation for a customer who creates several resumes in a day. And this used to take around 3 hours for each one. Now they can do it in under 10 minutes. So today we're building something simple but powerful, an n8n and AI workflow that takes any messy PDF, extracts its data and rewrites it into a clean formatted document. This is the kind of automation clients truly value because it solves a real problem. This is the automation we're building, so we're gonna have a workflow that downloads a file from Google Drive, then it's gonna extract the data from it. We're gonna use AI to enhance it, and then we're gonna go straight back into Google Docs and create a new document. Now let me show you how the setup looks in Google Drive. First you're gonna need to create a new folder, so go ahead and do that. I've named mine Doc Automation, you can name it however you want. Then I've added this PDF as an example. This is a fake PDF, so I put random companies right here just for the purpose of testing the workflow. Then we're also gonna need a template, so I've built this document right here. It has my logo, I've made it look pretty good. And inside of this I have some variables. So basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through our workflow and extract the data from the first PDF. Then we're gonna fill in those variables with real data enhanced by AI. Okay, first you're gonna need an n8n account, so go ahead and click the link in the description below. Then you can press on get started right here. After you fill in this info, you'll start a free trial. I think it's 15 days, but n8n is actually open source. I have another video on my channel in which I'm showing you how to run n8n on your local machine without paying for anything. But for the sake of simplicity, we're gonna use the cloud version. I'm mostly using this one. Okay, after you've configured your account, you can go ahead and create a new workflow. Then we're gonna start with a manual trigger, so click on the plus button right here and then click on trigger manually. Then we're gonna add a node for Google Drive. So basically we want to download the CV that we want to extract the data from. So we're just gonna search here for Google Drive and search for download file. You'll need to create a credential. This is very simple to do, so press right here on create new credential and select Google Drive Auth to API. Then we'll need to configure this. So first you'll need a client ID and a client secret. Let me show you how to get those. Go to console.cloud.google.com. I'm gonna put the link in the description also. Then you'll be able to see right here in the top left corner your projects. If you don't have any, just press on new project. I'm gonna name mine Brand Bounce 2. Then I'm gonna select the billing account. You can configure a new one right here. It's gonna be free what we're gonna use it for, so don't worry about that. Then just go ahead and press on create. You're gonna see right here in your notifications that the project is created successfully, so press on select project. You should have it selected right here. Now go ahead and search for the Drive API, Google Drive API, press on it and click on enable, press on credentials. Then you'll see this yellow notification right here to configure your consent screen, so press on it, get started. We're gonna use Brand Bounce for our web name. User support email, you can just use yours. Then we're gonna press next. We're gonna use external. Now we're gonna input our email address again, press on next. I agree, continue, create. Go ahead and search for the Drive API again, manage, press on credentials, and click right here on create credentials. You'll need an auth client ID. Application type is gonna be a web application, web client 1. For authorized redirect URIs, you can go back to n8n and copy the URL right here. Click to copy. Great, I'm just gonna paste it here. And then we're just gonna click on create. Okay, right here we got the client ID and the client secret, so just go on ahead and copy those and paste them right here into n8n. Now it's still not gonna work yet because you'll need to configure your test users. So let's go back to Google Cloud. We can close this window right now. Then search right here for audience, click on it. Then right under test users, go ahead and add your Google email. Then click on save. Now we can go back to n8n and press again on sign in with Google, choose your account. Then it's gonna say right here, you've been given access to an app that's currently being tested. You should only continue if you know the developer that invited you. So go ahead and press on continue, select all, click continue. Then we can go on ahead and press on X. We're gonna choose a file right here. Let's go back to our drive. Ours is this one, so let's go ahead and search for it. Okay, it's this one with lowercase. Then we're gonna press on execute step, and you're gonna see that it returned the file. Okay, now we can go back to the canvas. Then we should save the workflow, press on the plus button again, and search for an extract from file node. Great. And we're gonna extract from PDF. Then we have the input already right here, it's data. We're just gonna go ahead and press on execute step. And now we got the text inside the PDF. Okay, now we're gonna enhance this PDF. So we're gonna add an OpenAI node. So go ahead and search for OpenAI, message a model. Now we're gonna need some new credentials. So go to platform.openai.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Then press on login. If you have a ChatGPT account, it's the same one, or if you don't, just create a new account. Then go to settings, billing. You'll need to add to credit balance. $5 should be more than enough. Go to API keys, press on create new secret key, give it a name. I'm gonna just name it test123. We're gonna select the default project and press on create secret key. Don't share this with anyone, this is private. With this, anyone can access your OpenAI account. So copy it. I'm just gonna go to my OpenAI account, edit, and paste it right here in API key. Then it's gonna say that the connection tested successfully. You can close this. And now we're gonna choose a model. I'm gonna use 4.0 mini because it's very fast and it's more than enough for what we need right here in this workflow. Then we need to give it a prompt. I'm just gonna copy it from the other workflow. You also have it if you download the workflow JSON linked in the description below. Now let me just paste it right here. I'll open it. You are a professional resume data extractor. Your job is to analyze the text below and return only the structured JSON. So basically, we give it some guidelines and then we're giving it an example response. So from that example CV that we've used, this AI is responsible for extracting this information. It can extract the first name, last name, title, location, and the education. Now we can go ahead and press on the execute step, and as you can see, it extracted the JSON. It's right here. Now we need more information from this PDF, so we're gonna build another AI node, OpenAI, message model. Then we're gonna select the same model. So go ahead and add in the prompt. You can just copy it from here if you don't want to download the workflow, or you can write a new one based on the file you want to generate. So we are telling you the same thing. You are a professional resume data extractor. You extract and organize all relevant skills mentioned in the resume below. As you can see right here, I'm using a lot of stars, right? So I'm using this so I can later bold the text in the doc I'm generating. Now I'm giving it an example. For this, it's gonna generate those in a simple string. It's not gonna use a JSON like for the last one. Now we have this input text because I haven't showed you for the last one. It's extracted from file right here, so you can just drag and drop this text. It's gonna populate it automatically. Now we can go ahead and press on execute step again. Okay, so we generated a string list of skills taken from that initial CV. Now we're gonna add a new AI node, so search for OpenAI. Again, message a model, select 4.0 mini. Okay, now I can just copy and paste the third one from the workflow file that I have shared below and put it in the prompt right here. And if we open it, you can see that we give it the same information, but this node we're gonna use for the candidate's work experience section. So this one right here in our CV template, this experience text right here will be replaced by this. This will return a single string. So we're saying for each company, include the company name and employment period. On the next line, include the candidate's position or title. Okay, so we're describing exactly how we want to format the result. Then for each project, start with a bolded project name or client if available. Provide a one-sentence summary of what the project or product was about. Okay, so we're telling it everything it needs to know about what we're building. Again, we're gonna use those 2 stars for bolding text, so go ahead and also do this. You can use this kind of AI nodes for any type of PDF. You can extract any data For this one, this is just an example. We're extracting the work experience. Then we're giving it an example format, so how we want it to look with the bolded texts. Then we're gonna give it the input text. Again, press on extract from file and drag and drop it from here. And then we're saying it return only the formatted experience section, do not include any extra text before or after. And then go ahead and press on execute step. Okay, next we're gonna have one more AI node, so go on ahead and search for OpenAI, message model, then copy the prompt from the workflow file, or you can just copy it from the screen right here, or you can tell ChatGPT to write it for you. You are a professional resume data extractor, so basically the same thing. We're saying this in all the prompts. Your task is to extract all languages. So basically for this one, it's going to extract the languages. See the input text right here from the extract from file. We have mother tongue English, another language is Spanish. It needs to extract those two and put them in a list. We're giving it a guideline and how it should look. Go ahead and press on execute step. You should see a bullet list of two languages. This \n right here is actually the special character for a new line. Now we're gonna add our last AI node, so search again for OpenAI, message model. We're gonna go ahead and search for 4O Mini again. You're a professional resume data extractor and formatter. Find any certifications, professional courses or licenses mentioned in the resume below. Then we're gonna give it some formatting rules again. Then we're also giving it an example output. Then the input text, again from the extract from file node right here. Return only the final formatted string or an empty string. So basically if it doesn't find any certifications, it should return an empty string. Then we're gonna press on execute step again. As you can see for this CV right here, it didn't find any certifications, so it returned an empty string. I know what you might be thinking, why do we have 5 AI nodes and not just a single one? Because when you give the AI too many tasks at one time, it's gonna make mistakes. So it's much more safer to have 5 calls on the same data but with different results. If you had to build a client proposal, for example, you're gonna have 3 nodes, let's say one for the title, one for the introduction section, and then one for the actual content. Or if you have any other generic one, you can split it in parts and give it some atomic things that it should do. Okay, after all those AI nodes, we need to search for Drive, copy file. This uses the Google Drive account that you configured earlier. Now we're gonna search for our CV template right here. Okay, I have 2, I hope I get the right one. So press on it, we're gonna dynamically name it. So basically when we ask for the first name and last name in the first AI node message model, we can just go ahead and drag and drop the first name and last name, but seems like there was a problem and it returned the JSON as a string. So let's go back to our first node and press on output content as JSON, execute step again. Okay, now it's a JSON, but we're gonna need to execute the other steps also. So go back to the copy file node, press on execute previous nodes, and let's wait for them to execute. Now we can expand right here message model. You're gonna see the first name right here. So let's go ahead and give it the file name. So we're gonna say CV underline, then we're gonna drag and drop first name here. So it's gonna be CV underline then for now, and then we can put a space and also drag the last name. So it's gonna be the full name, CV and full name. Okay, great. Now we can press on execute step. Make sure to have this right here, copy in the same folder. Now if we go back to our folder, you can see that you have a newly created file. Go back to the n8n workflow. Let's add a new node. This is gonna be a Google Docs. So this is different, this is not a Drive node, it's a document node. So press on it, we're gonna update the document because we copied it and now we have to update it. We need to add a new type of account here, Google Docs Auth2 API. Press on create new credential and search for Google Docs Auth2 API. In order for this to work, go back to your Google Cloud Console and search for Google Docs API. Great. Now press on enable, press on credentials, and you're gonna see that you have the web client right here. So go back to your workflow and copy and paste again your client ID and secrets. You can find them right here in your web client 1. You have the client ID right here. So just paste it. And then you're gonna have the secret right here. You have a button for copying it and paste it again. Press on sign in with Google, choose your account, continue, and then select all. Right now you're giving it access to your Google documents. Continue. Account connected successfully. You can close that window. Now right here we have to select the doc ID. So basically the doc ID is this one right here from copy file. This is the ID of the newly created file. So drag and drop it right here. Then we're gonna go and add some actions. First we're gonna have a find and replace text. Then we're gonna go to our newly copied file. We're gonna see what variables we have. So we have basic.position. So we're just gonna go ahead and copy it. This is the old text. Make sure it's fixed right here. And we're gonna replace it with a new text. So the new text, if you remember correctly, it's in message model, the first one, and then it's under basics and title. So we're just gonna drag and drop this. Let's press on execute step so we can see that it's working properly. Now if we go back to our document, we should see that it has changed right here to the title we had in the PDF. Now we have a long way to go because we need to replace each of those variables individually. We have basics, last name, first name, location. Let's take those three. So add another action, text, find and replace, paste the old text as fixed. Don't forget to paste it as fixed. Go and message a model, and we're gonna copy the drag and drop the last name. Then another one, text, find and replace text. We're gonna take the first name, make sure it's fixed, and we are gonna drag and drop it from the left side. Now another action, text, find and replace. Let's see what we have. We have the location, so go ahead and copy it, find and replace, paste it in the old text, fixed, and then drag and drop the location. Now we're gonna add a new one, text, find and replace. Let's see what we have next. We have the basics, education, start date, and then we're gonna have the end date. So let's put them together. So the start date, mark it as fixed, and the new text, drag and drop start date. So we're still on the message model 1. Now we're gonna add another one, find and replace. We need the end date, fixed, then drag and drop it. Another one, I think the next one was institution. Let's go ahead and copy it. Actions, find and replace text. All text is this one, fixed. And let's go and let's drag and drop institution. Another one, we have the degree. Let's copy and paste it. After we select the action as find and replace, paste it right here, fixed. Drag and drop the degree. Now let's see what's next. I think we have the languages text on the left side. Great. Now let's copy it, find and replace text. All text is this one, fixed. Languages was in message model 3. Now we're just gonna drag and drop content right here. Let's see which one is next. We have the skills text. Great. Copy, find and replace, paste the text, mark it as fixed, and then the skills was in message model 1. I think it's our second node. So we are gonna drag and drop it in content. Add another action, text, find and replace. We're gonna copy certifications text, put it right here in all text. Then the new text was in message model 4. The content right here is empty because the CV I attached doesn't have any certifications. Now let's add another action, text, find and replace. The old text is gonna be the experience text. I think this is the last one, hopefully. Fixed. Then the experience was in message model 2, the third node that we added. So we're just gonna drag and drop it. Okay, now we can press on execute step. Great, node executed successfully. As you can see, we have all the data right here. But you see, it still looks a bit bad. It has these stars right here that I told you earlier that we'll need to replace with bold text. So let me just show you how we do it. We're gonna add another Google Docs node, get a document. Okay, we're gonna use the same Google Docs account. The resources document, operation get, and then we're gonna use the doc ID or URL. Let's use the doc ID. Now we're gonna execute a step. And as you can see, we received content with nothing in it, so something is wrong. So go ahead and uncheck simplify right here. And now we receive the whole JSON with all the details we have in the document, everything we added. Now the real hacking begins. So we have to add a code node. Let's use JavaScript for this. Don't worry, it's not some complicated code that you have to know. It's a simple code block that you can generate with ChatGPT. Let me just get it from the workflow file. This is made with ChatGPT, don't worry. So as you can see, those comments are added by ChatGPT. The code is done entirely by ChatGPT. You don't have to understand it. It will give you comments and tell you what it does. So it clones the doc to avoid n8n read-only issues. Then it's using an expression to find the text that's between those stars. Then it's going to traverse all elements, find all the sections, and then it's going to store the positions in the doc file for the text that needs to be bolded. And then it's going to have a request and push the update that we're going to use in the next node. So it's going to have a range from a start index to an end index, from where the bolded text should start to where it should end. And then we're going to send it the text style bold. We can do multiple things here. For this, for the sake of simplicity, we will just bold it. And then it's going to run another search in the requests. It's going to replace the stars with an empty string. So it's going to remove them basically. And then it's going to return the document ID. JSON document ID is the document we have in the get a document node. So we can basically just delete what we had and drag and drop the updated document ID from here. And also we're going to send a request. So basically what this does is going to build our request node. It's not going to go yet in our document and do any changes. So let's go on ahead and press on execute step. And we can see that we have update text style requests from this index to this index, and the text style should be bold. I haven't managed to do this fully with n8n default nodes, so we're going to add an HTTP request node. So for this update node, we're going to paste in this URL right here. It goes to Google API Docs again, v1 documents, then we're going to give it a document ID. You can see it's right here in the code, we are returning it. And then we're going to call the batch update on it. Then the authentication should be predefined credential type. We're going to search for the docs, Google Docs Auth to API, select it. It's the same one that we use in our docs nodes. Then we're going to go ahead and click on send body, select here using JSON. Then right here we'll need to send the requests that we've built in the previous node, so just go ahead and drag and drop them. And now press on execute step, bad requests. Seems like n8n is doing something to the request. See, we have this array right here, we don't need it, we just need to send the styles inside. So go ahead and open some more parentheses so we can write just a bit of code so we can parse the JSON right. So we're just gonna go ahead and write JSON. That's stringify. We're gonna open parentheses. We're gonna close them after the drag and dropped text. And then we're gonna again close the double parentheses. There's still something wrong. We need to delete the parenthesis, this parenthesis inside. And we're gonna get an invalid syntax. Okay, we just need to tell it requests. And we should see them in the right side greened out. Now we can go ahead and press on execute step. Still we have a problem. Let's search. Okay, I forgot to mention it should be a post, so because we are editing data. Get is usually being used to return data to us. Post is used to push data to something. So go ahead and press on execute step again. Okay, we're gonna get a weird response, but we can go back to our CV and we'll see that the text got bolded out. Everything looks great except this right here. This is for our certifications, but we can just delete it. As you can see, it extracted the skills from the CV. It also put the languages here. It took the languages as skills, so we'll need to remove them. We'll need to edit the message we're sending to the AI to not include those in the skills section. It also added them here. The education, last name, first name, location. Then it added information about the companies. As you can see, those are test companies. I haven't added any real info here. And that's the automation. You can easily adapt it for more use cases like generating invoices, reports, contracts, or even client proposals. Basically any document that follows a repeatable structure. You can find the full workflow link below in the description. And if you're serious about building your own automation business, then subscribe, because I'm sharing exactly how I'm building my agency, what automations I'm selling, and how you can start doing the same too. See you in the next one.